Where are you, my working students? We know that there's lots of you. In fact, we know that most of our student body here at Essential Education is made up of working students. You're busy juggling it all. And if this is you, drop an emoji down in the comments about what it feels like to be a working student. Maybe you're joining us today on your lunch hour, you're checking your social and you say, hey, Essential Education's going live. Maybe you're picking that up. Maybe you're joining us via recording because you were working during this live stream. Maybe you're one of the many stay-at-home parents that we have that are actively caring for a family while you are busy studying to get your high school equivalency credential. Maybe you're watching this because you're on second or third shift and this is your regular working hours before you get to go and get back to the grind. However you are joining us today, we are happy that you are here, and we want you to know that we see you, we validate you, we value you, we want you to feel known. So drop a hello down in the comments if that is you, a working student. We know that adult students most likely are working students because you've got to make ends meet. You've got to pay the bills. And if you are prioritizing your educational goals in the midst of everything else that you're doing, it can be a challenge. And so we want to come to you today with 7 quick tips to help our working students not just get through the day, not just survive, but truly thrive and meet your educational goals this year. We still have plenty of time here in 2022. We want you to meet your educational goals this year. So we want these tips to be helpful. And again, don't forget to say hello down in the comments. Our first tip today for working students is this: we need you to get organized. Have you ever felt that feeling when you get up in the morning and you hit snooze too many times, or your alarm doesn't go off and you feel like you're off to the races and you never catch up in the day? We hear this from many working students that that's how they feel every day. They never feel like there's enough time. There's not enough hours in the day. So the first thing that you need to do as a working student, if you have not done this yet, is push back, take a deep breath, and look at your schedule. You need to take control of your schedule, not the other way around. Look at your schedule. Look at digital calendar options. If you are a pencil to paper person, I am. I'm a pencil to paper person and digital and whiteboard. I need all the things all the time because there's a lot going on, right? So we have to push back and look at our schedule to see, okay, what are all of my responsibilities in the course of the day? If you don't know what they are, you can't possibly juggle them all, right? So we have to push back and say, okay, what are all of the things that I have to do in the course of a day? And we need to start to organize those things. And getting your calendar in order is the first place to do that. If you are an iPhone user, you've got your iCal. If you're an Android user, you have got your Google Calendar. Whatever mechanism you might be using on your phone, or again, if you're that pencil to paper calendar or you need to see it on a big whiteboard, do that. Whatever works for you. Just like you have different learning styles, you have different organization styles as well. And then after you do that, you move on to tip number 2. And that is to, as much as you can, as hard as it might be, prioritize that schedule. And we have kind of a 4-tip process that we talk about for prioritizing lives. And it's called a priority matrix. And you could right now Google a priority matrix and you'll get lots of different examples. But we talk about this in our Healthy Habits live coaching sessions. We talk about this in creating a schedule that works. We talk about this in our time management sessions together, which you can all check out live on our site for free if you want to go back and revisit some of that material. But this priority matrix is made up of 4 major parts: your must-dos, your should-dos, your can-do-laters, and your would like to do's. And what that means is once you get everything down on that calendar, maybe even in 1 hour or maybe even 30-minute increments, what are the things that you must do in the course of a day? If you're a working student, your job, or jobs plural, is something that you must do. If you're a parent or you're caring for another family member. That care, the responsibility there is something that you must do. Mark those things down. Write those things down because, as the word indicates, you have to do it. You must do it. And then push back for this all important second category. And that is the things that you should be doing. And what are those things? The things that take you closer to your dreams and goals. Let me say it again. Your should do's are the things that take you closer to your dreams and goals. Now, we've got a lot of other things in our life that we probably have going on, like chores and cleaning the house, or maybe doing some yard work, those types of things that go on that are just everyday life things. But those kind of fall into that can do later category, right? If you want to stick to a study schedule that works, you have to start prioritizing those things that you should do, popping them into those open spaces that you see in your calendar. Maybe that's taking a little bit more time in the morning before the kids get up, or before you really get your day going. So maybe set that alarm a little bit earlier. Maybe you're a night owl. Maybe that's adding an extra 30 minutes onto your schedule after all of those responsibilities are over. Maybe you're a little bit of everything. You want to do a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening, and maybe a little bit in the afternoon. And that's okay too. It's called space study, and it's actually one of the things that helps you build long-term memory. So push back, look at that calendar, try to get organized, try to see all of the things that you have in your world, and there are many things, and put in those things that you must do, put in those things that you should do. Consider the things that you can do later, and use those things that you like to do to accomplish our third tip today, and that is incentivize. See, we have all these things that we like to do, right? We all have hobbies. We all have our time that we sit down with TikTok or social media or whatever that might be. We might like to go and work out at the gym. Those are all things that are important for our mind and body. We got to have a life, right? But why not incentivize those things? Why not use those things to set your small measurable goals that say, hey, when I meet all of my study goals on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, this is the reward I'm going to set up for myself on Thursday. I'm going to go to happy hour with the girls, or I'm going to go to my fantasy football league, whatever that might be. I'm going to set up those small measurable goals, because lots of people set those big goals, right? We have students all the time say, I'm going to throw a graduation party when I pass all of my subject exams. Hey, I'm going to do this when I get that credential in the mail. And those are great. Those are valuable goals. We need to incentivize the things that we want to do along the way by tying them to the things or to our dreams and goals. So whether that is setting aside time for study and rewarding yourself for that, or maybe it's setting a goal on your practice test for a given subject and rewarding yourself for that, all of those things are important. And the human brain is wired for the reward. We want that payoff. So set yourself up for success by incentivizing. Number 4, take care. Take care of yourself. Self-care is something that we just don't do enough. And if you're feeling like, well, Jen, I just don't have time for self-care. You've just mentioned all of these other things. Wouldn't that be in something that I can do later? Maybe it could be. Maybe parts of your self-care are something that you can incentivize. But if you are literally burning the candle at both ends, if you are not putting into yourself what your mind and your body needs, you cannot possibly give to your family, give to your coworkers, or give to yourself the energy that it takes to do all these things. In other words, you have to adjust your input if you want to see success with your output. So do things like make sure you're staying hydrated. We don't drink enough water. Do things like considering a healthy diet. Do things like making time for that exercise, making time for that brain and body connection through yoga or meditation or scripture study, whatever it is that feeds your mind, your body, and your soul, because all of those things work together to keep us healthy, right? And you want to stay healthy so that you can take care of yourself and do all of the things that you need to do. So don't forget to prioritize self-care. And one of the things you might need to do along the way is this, and we don't like to do it, and that is to ask for help. believe it or not, there are people in your life, your friends, your family, maybe those coworkers, that they see you. They see the things that you're doing. They see the things that you're doing to prioritize yourself and your education and your future, and they want to help you. All you have to do is ask. We talk about this a lot, that successful students are supported students. Those students that have a strong support system, whether it be their biological family or the family that they create through friends, or whether it's our student advisory team here at Essential Education, or the groups of people that join us for live coaching every week. Whatever that support system is, it's important. And that local support system that you might need in asking for help to get all those things done in the course of the day, they want to be there and help you too. You just have to ask. Maybe it's a carpool situation that you need to set up with somebody. Maybe it's asking a friend or a family member to take your kids in the afternoon so you can get that extra half hour of study. Whatever that help is. And I'm going to guess that some of you are already thinking, yeah, I have this little thought in the back of my mind about some things that I would like to ask people to do to help me. It doesn't hurt to ask. And you are going to be pleasantly surprised about the people who will be there fighting for you in your corner, because they want to be a part of your success, right? Supported students are successful students. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Number 6 is a hard one. It's a hard one, especially stereotypically for women. Sorry, guys, we see you too, but this is a lot harder for women to do. We've seen the research studies. We know that it's true. You got to learn how to say no. I went to a women's conference a few years ago, and there was a speaker, and it was very impactful, and it was very simple. And she said, no is a complete sentence. And then she repeated it multiple times. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. See, we often feel like we have to say yes to all of these things in our life. Hey, can you jump in and help with this volunteer activity? Hey, can you help, in this area of my life? Other people are asking you for help. Hey, can you be on this volunteer committee? Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you take an extra shift at work? Hey, hey, hey. And oftentimes we get in this cycle of saying yes, yes, yes. Sometimes it's all of those things that we like to do. Hey, I know you said you were going to study today, but why don't you come and go to the beach with us? Or why don't you head down to the river with us? Or why don't you head to happy hour? Or how about we go shopping today instead? No is a complete sentence. You don't have to justify anything to anyone else. You don't have to make excuses to anyone. You can just say no. And I know that that's hard, because sometimes we really want to say yes, right? Because just like we're hardwired for that reward center in our brain, we're also hardwired for immediate gratification, where it feels a lot better to say yes, right? Heck yeah, I'd want to go to that happy hour instead of studying. Yeah, I'd want to go to the beach or the river or wherever with my friends instead of studying. But remember, whenever you say yes to those things in the short term, you're sacrificing those long-term goals. So that's not to say that you can never say yes to those things, but again, use them as incentives. Push back and look at your schedule and say, okay, if I say yes to this today, what does it mean for my schedule for the rest of the week? And if you want to still meet those study goals, then it may mean bulking up your study on an extra day. Maybe you were going to give yourself a Saturday off, and now if you say yes to this now, you might need to spend some time on Saturday studying. That's that juggle. That's that balance. That's that prioritizing. But learn to say no to the short-term things that feel good in the moment. Don't sacrifice the short term for your long-term gain. All right, number 7, and this is a big one. Remember your why. What does that mean? Remember your why. Remember why you started in the first place. Remember why you picked up the phone and you called Essential Education and you enrolled. Remember why you bought that workbook and you said, hey, I'm going to commit to study. Remember why you started down this path. Did you make a promise to yourself that you were going to improve your education? Did you make a promise to your boss? Hey, I see these management opportunities coming up. I want to invest in myself and I want to take advantage of some of these things, but I know I need to get a high school equivalency credential first. Did you make a promise to your kids or another family member and you want to fulfill that promise and you want to show them that you can do something? Do you make a promise to yourself? And you want that feeling of self-esteem. We have these 4 E's that we often rely on. Many folks want to improve their education. They want to improve their employment. They want to improve their economic status, and they want to improve their esteem. And that is often a big driver. 1 or 2, or maybe all of the above, or something totally different is that why that gets you started. Remember why you started. It's not just important in taking that first step. It's important in continuing to take those steps in the midst of trying to do all the things that busy working students are trying to do. And speaking of help, we want to help you. You can do this. We can help. We never want to miss an opportunity or a time with our students to reiterate, to repeat this, to let you know that we are a team that is after your success. We want to make sure that you have the tools that you need to be successful, even in the midst of your busy working schedule. And we do that. We set up our program specifically for that. Did you know that you can study on the go? I just got a message right before we started the live stream today, and the student said, hey, I'd really like to join your program, but I don't have a computer or a laptop or a tablet. That's okay. 75% of our students study on their phone. They're studying on the go. We know that you need to be mobile. We know that we need to have programs that are mobile friendly. And we know that we need to set you up with that digital homeroom that helps you meet those goals, that helps you set a study time goal, that shows you how you're doing throughout the week, that helps you monitor your progress so you can set those SMART goals, those small, measurable, attainable, reasonable, time-bound goals. We set you up for all of that at a very valuable investment in becoming an enrolled student. And we have a whole team of advisors who would love to talk to you about your options in joining us here at Essential Education. You can reach out to them at 1-800-460-8150, or you can just check us out online at essentialed.com/students. If you are a working student, we see you. We value you. We know how hard you are trying to do all the things, and we just want to help you. Don't forget to give us a shout down in those comments if that is you, if you are a hardworking student. We want to hear from you. Let us know if you're struggling with anything that we can help you with, and maybe let us know some about those successes. What are some of the wins that you've had lately? What are some of the things that you've said, you know what? It was a busy month. I had all of these things going on at work, but I accomplished this goal. We want to hear that too. We want to be your support system. Supported students are successful students, and we're here for you. Hope to see you again soon. Take care.